Welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk. Treasure Talk.
Welcome, friends. Welcome to Treasure Talk Facebook.
Yeah, finally.
It looks like we've got some background feedback. Is that going, Jeff?
I don't hear any background feedback
Perfect.
at all.
We're good now, but it doesn't look like we're live on Facebook. I think they are still running into issues. So, folks,
It could be.
if you can hear us, folks, on Facebook, and you want to see the live video, I guess jump over to YouTube to the Treasure Talk channel.
And Kimmie's trying to join, but
can you get this on YouTube?
And let me run through my notes here and tell everybody today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by Treasure Talk guests and members belong solely to the guests and members and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Jeff Moan, or Myers Metal Detectors. And of course, folks, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting and to educate our members in a fun and informative manner. And with that, Jeff, I'll let you try to get Kimmie to come in if she can.
Yeah, well, she's tried joining 3 or 4 times. It's really messed up tonight. Facebook has been down all day, and it's still not working correctly. So I don't know for sure that we are on Facebook.
I'm looking at a black screen on Facebook, so it may be video, but maybe not.
I don't think so. Probably not. But Facebook's been screwed up all day, and it took me 4 times to launch before it will come up. So, who knows? Who knows what's going on? We're trying to get Kimmie. She has been able to join a couple times, but she's not. We don't get a video on her.
Oh.
So let's see. I'm texting with her now. So while we're waiting on Kimmie, Phil, let's see what's new in the shop. What's got coming up? What's any big sales? Any of that kind of good stuff?
Okay, easy enough. We can just run down some new stuff. Is with this COVID virus, the biggest issue I have now at the shop now is getting inventory and getting products. And I've been out of the Equinox Gray Ghost headphones. We finally saw a little movement in the Detector Pro starting to kick out some products. So I know I've had several members of the Treasure Talk group ask me about the Gray Ghost headphones. And Josh, that video should be on there, but it's YouTube, not Facebook, because Facebook is dead. But anyway,
I've got a Facebook user. Now, I see a Facebook user.
Oh, hopefully. I thought on my phone it was dead.
Well, but it says YouTube is working, so they're on both. So
yes. Okay. So anyway, the Gray Ghost headphones are now in stock, and I think I got 12 in yesterday, and I got another 25 coming. So if people need a Gray Ghost headphones, we'll have those. Right now, I don't have any of the the Anderson carbon fiber handles for either the T-Rex or the Stealth, but the Stealth ones are being made, so we'll probably have some Stealth in stock here soon. And of course, Joe will put them together and put the Anderson handle on them because it's a perfect match for that new T handle. Do you like yours, Jeff?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yep, yeah, I love it.
That thing is just awesome. I got to do some digging the past week over in St. Pete. Only gold I got was 2 front teeth grill, a 2-piece grill. That's the only gold I got. I think I got 6 rings, but they're silver or junkers. There's Kimmie.
There is the siren. Kimmie prize. It is something, isn't it, Kimmie?
I swear, technology.
Oh yeah,
Oh, no
we have
worries.
this a lot. So I'm Phil, and we're glad
Hi.
you're here. So I guess we'll get started on some questions right away then.
Okay, sounds good.
Members
Yeah,
wanted to
Facebook
know.
is down. So I think, Facebook's been down most of the day.
Yeah, it has.
And it came back briefly, but then it's all screwed up. And I'm seeing that from guys on YouTube. So basically, we're probably going to be just on YouTube tonight, unless Facebook kicks in.
Yeah,
But
unless it kicks back in, it could. But so we let's just tell the members we're here with Siren Kimmie Price, correct?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. And you are a member of the Nomads team?
I am.
Okay, so why don't you tell us how long you've been a member of that, and tell the members what it is.
I've been a member for 2 years. It is actually the field team for Nocta Macro. So I get all the cool new stuff and test it out and let everybody know what I think about it. So it's a pretty cool gig.
So you've been reviewing their products. You're like an influencer, telling people how they work and
Yes.
what they do. That's awesome. A lot of my customers, I have a metal detector shop here in Tampa, use the Simplex Plus and other detectors. What is your favorite NACA detector that you use?
Honestly, it is the Cruiser Multi. I started out on the Amphibio, and I love the Amphibio, but I am not a fiddler. So I kind of like to set my settings and go. I don't do a lot of crazy discrimination. I like it wide open. So I find that the Cruiser works out better for me because I don't use all the features that are available on the Amphibio. And there are a ton of great features, which for those who want to use them, it's wonderful. But I prefer the Cruiser Multi.
Okay. And have you used the Simplex Plus?
Oh yeah, I call that my daily driver. I take that to work with me. It's really easy to kind of fold down and throw in my truck and go out on my lunch breaks and that sort of thing. So that's the one I use daily. But when I'm out on the weekends, I'm using the Cruiser, or if I'm going on a relic hunt, I'm going to take the Cruiser or the Amphibio.
Okay.
Because it's just a little bit deeper, you know?
Let me ask a question here.
Mhm.
Didn't the Cruiser was first, and then the Amphibio? Am I right
Yes.
with that?
Yes.
And we kind of just kicked it up a little bit on the
Yeah.
Amphibio from the Cruiser.
Yes.
I had an Amphibio, but it was just heavy for me.
Yeah, it
And
is.
I'm an old
Cruiser is
person.
lighter. And I think the reason the Amphibio is heavy, they went with the collapsible shaft, and also it has that kind of big end on the back. But I think it gives a little bit better balance too. But I don't know. I sacrifice having the collapsible for a little bit lighter, and I just don't use all those other features. Like I said, it's wonderful. If I'm going on a major relic hunt, I'll take it just because I want to have all those features there just in case I need them. But I'm usually running out with that Cruiser.
Yeah.
Because it is such a similar machine. I mean, they really are, at the heart of them, they're the same machine, just without all the extra bells and whistles.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows, it looks like on Facebook there are some questions coming through, but just there's no live video. You can watch the live video on YouTube because Facebook is totally messed up today. But
Yeah.
Kimmie,
At least it's not me this time.
I'm
It's not
only
us,
at me because I haven't gone live in forever, so I said this is my fault. Facebook went down because of me.
Well, you did good.
Before we get going here, Kimmie, if you tell everybody, you mentioned relic hunting, where you're located at, and what's your favorite type of hunting?
I am in the Sandhills of North Carolina, and I am a relic girl. So I like finding relics. The older the better. I do a lot of Civil War hunting, and mostly because that's about as old as I've found around here. I would like to go older, but I love finding the old relics.
You need to go to England. You should have went to England with
I know, right? Yeah, that's my dream, actually. My mom's actually from Leicester, And whenever I've been to visit in the past, I was not into metal detecting. So now I'm kicking myself, like, why didn't I metal detect back then? But unfortunately, I didn't. So, oh well. Next time.
All right, well, cool. So you're in North Carolina and you like to relic or Civil War hunt. So people, if you have questions on that, be sure to, on Facebook, you're still on there reading the questions. Jocelyn's on Facebook, so she can still pick up any questions. But if you want to see the video, you got to watch it on YouTube. So, and if you have questions, you could, of course, type them on YouTube too.
We got a question off YouTube
Go right ahead, Jeff.
from Tim the Mumbles Man Naylor. He wants to know what's your favorite find.
Oh, I have a bunch. I can't pin it down to just one, and I actually have them laid out in front of me because I knew this question was going to come up. So one of the first ones is, you see that?
Yeah.
CS.
CS tongue, and that is one of my very favorites. And I found this metal detecting with a friend of mine who has recently passed on, and so this holds like extra special to me. And then I also have, see if I get it the right way up, a piece of a sword belt plate. It's a bit crusty, but we got a Union sword belt plate there. Yeah. And then one that blew me out of the water because I didn't expect it where I found it. I took my uncle metal detecting for the first time, and I just took him on a wide open field. I figured, I can get him out there. I can get him testing some things. Maybe he'll find a couple coins just to get a feel for how they work. And then this thing popped up. Do you see what it is?
It's a Confederate eye button. It looks
like. It's a line block eye, which should not have been in that area, and they never found anything else before or after in that area that was Civil War. So that was kind of crazy. And then my little seated dime. That is a 1854. It was found in a Civil War site, so I like to believe that that was a soldier's dime tied onto him. And I also found this with another friend who passed away. So two that are very special to me just because they are memories from when I was detecting with people that I cared for dearly who are not with me anymore, unfortunately.
Well, we hope that everybody that detects with you don't pass on.
I know everybody says that. Everybody says
You're working too hard, girl.
You don't want to dig with me because you may not make it.
That's right. Also, the Mumbles Man want to know, what was your most unusual find?
Most unusual would be I was digging in the woods, and I came across an entire section in the woods of hypodermic needles on a sheet with some other like little vials and stuff. It was near a hospital, and I do believe that it was probably an addict that was going through the trash and getting their hands on some needles and paraphernalia, and that was really creepy, and I beat feet out of there as fast as possible. So
yeah, sometimes we find some scary stuff, especially on the beach.
Yeah, that was really the oddest, I think.
Yeah. Okay, Philip, you got more questions, don't you, Matt?
Yeah. Oh, I got loads of questions, but I guess what do you do any beach hunting? Because it looks like you got some questions on. This is YouTube, isn't it? You're handing me. Do you do beach hunting?
I am not a big beach hunter. I'm more woods and fields. I've hunted on the beach once or twice many moons ago, and I'm not going to be the person you're going to want to ask about anything with regard to settings for the beach, unfortunately.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's fine. We have plenty of other questions. So, was that silver dime? Was that your oldest silver coin?
Yes.
Okay. So I ask every guest, of course, have they found a gold coin? Have you found a gold coin yet?
No. I would like to, obviously.
Yeah, you and me both, and I think Jeff too. Although Jeff texted me a picture of a gold stater when he was over in England. I got all
here's the story, Kimmie. Phil, it's his white whale. He's never found a gold coin. So all pre-England trip, I kept telling him, hey, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to find a Celtic gold stater or a Saxon stater. And then I'm going to text a picture of it to you every 10 minutes. So I didn't find one. One of the guys from Virginia happened to find a Celtic gold stater. So we took pictures, and in my hand. So I send the picture to Phil. See, when I wasn't here doing the show when I was in England, he was doing it. So they're all saying, well, he got a gold coin, got a gold coin. And Phil said, I don't know if he dug it or not. Everybody on YouTube's going, yeah, he dug it. He dug it. So I had to tell him, no, that was a fugazi.
Well, and the week earlier than that, I had found a gold coin for a customer who lost it. He was testing it on detectors in the shop. And he came back the next day. He said, I lost my gold coin. Is it in here? And I looked in he had an antique or an older Jaguar, and I found it in his car. So
Oh, wow.
I found the gold coin, but it was in between the seat and the console.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's just so funny. I'm still looking for that gold coin. So, Jeff, are you able to make sure we're still up on YouTube?
It says, yeah, we're getting all kinds of comments from YouTube. And we are up on the Blue Spade Society, but not on Treasure Talk, I don't think.
You could hand me the question, Josh, if you see it. All righty. So let me keep going down my list then. So you of course use Naka Macro products. What digging tools do you use?
I use theirs as well. I have their new shovel, which I really, really love. I used to use a really junky shovel from Lowe's, and I wouldn't trade it for anything until I got my hands on this one. I am short, and so I like a shovel that I can stomp on and put some weight behind to get down into the harder soil. And so this kind of has a little lip on it for my foot. It's the perfect height, and it's just everything that I needed. I don't like the little short ones because I'm not one of those that crouches down and kind of, digs out on the ground. I like to step on it and get that clod out. But yeah, so I use that. I use I use the Nokta pointer. That's my favorite of the pinpointers that they have. And I don't really use the lesh that much because I use the shovel. I don't use the littler.
Now,
I like to get into. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is it the new shovel that's portable, comes apart?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we sold one of those. Joe sold it last week. That is a cool little shovel, and it's special.
Yeah.
I think Arthur Fraser bought it from Joe, and he's taking it to dig stock.
Okay.
So he wanted to be able to transport it easy, and that is an easy one for that. So that's a cool feature. That one comes apart in two pieces. All righty. Well, let me keep going down my list here. How about your best hunt ever that you've done?
My best hunt. Let's see. That was kind of a fluke hunt. It was out on an open field, and we started picking off Williams cleaners one after another after another. It's the only time I've been on a field that was not dug before, or if it was dug very lightly. And so we started finding all kinds of stuff out there. We had this really great permission finding, we found some buttons and all kinds of really great stuff out there until some nighthawkers decided to come along and started digging on the site. And so I lost it, unfortunately, which gutted me. But that was like the best site and the best dig to find one after another when we usually are lucky if we find one of anything. So it was pretty amazing, yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah, sometimes those nighthawkers screw it up for everybody.
Yeah.
They would.
And it was a permission where the person that owned it was an older gentleman, and he passed on, and the older gentleman had never let anybody dig it, and his son allowed us to dig it. And so unfortunately he just didn't want to deal with people coming at night and trying to identify whether it was us or not, so he just cut it all out, and that way if anybody was on his property we'd just call the police. So bummer.
Hey, we just had
we did have a comment, Phil.
Yeah,
we got a comment from Rose Fraser, Arthur's wife, in regard to the shovel. She says, yes, Arthur bought that shovel and it fits easily in a large suitcase, and her purple one fits too.
There you go.
So all the shovels from the Blue Spade Society ought to fit.
Yeah,
perfect.
She got an Excalibur shovel, which is a cool shovel too, and I like her color on hers. Also, I guess somebody on YouTube is asking if you have tested the new Naka macro detector yet.
No.
No.
Hopefully soon. It's not ready for me to test yet, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people here are very interested in that detector because it's multi-frequency. And I
Yep.
know probably where you're at, it's not as important, but when you get on a highly mineralized site like the Salt Beach,
Yeah.
that's really important to us. Or if you're like up in Culpeper or somewhere
Yeah,
where
I've been up in Culpeper, so yeah, I know what that's all about, and I would love to have a multi-frequency machine
yeah,
up there.
so it just would be easier to hunt with, I'm sure.
Yes.
And everybody's wanting that product because NACA has some really good products. And so far, knock on wood, I haven't heard of any leak issues. So, and I've just never heard of a NACA
Yeah,
leak. I'm sure maybe one or two has, but I've never seen it. Where other brands, I've seen a lot of leaking going on.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
haven't heard of it either. And I try to stay pretty up on Facebook and answering questions and helping people, and I have yet to hear of somebody that had a machine leak,
yeah,
any of them. So,
yes.
Or the
Well,
boilers break.
yeah, that too. So that's good that they're coming out with it, and I know a lot of people are just anxious to get that particular detector. So we had talked about your best hunt ever and the digging tools you use. You used NACA macro shovel, and what was the pointer you used?
the note to pointer.
Okay, now that's not the waterproof one, is it?
No, you're talking about the pulse dive. I'm
Yeah.
using the note. It's the orange and black one.
Oh, okay.
And it's just it's the again I'm not a fiddler, so I want just turn it on and go. And so
Absolutely.
that
Now this.
has everything that I need, and I'm really happy with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I like mine too.
Honeybird's Fraser
Yes.
said that Arthur bought that shovel and it fits easily.
Yes, Jeff had read the same thing that Rose had bought the shovel or Arthur bought it and it fits in a suitcase and he's going to dig stock. So hopefully he'll
Yeah,
dig a lot of stuff up there.
yeah. He and
Absolutely.
Rose are going, and that's coming up next week. No, it's this week, isn't it? It
I
is
don't know
this.
the
I don't
exact
know. I'm not going, so
I don't know the exact date of it, but I'm sure they're going to have fun there.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so, Kimmy, how long have you been detecting? You might have mentioned that, but I didn't write it.
It's been probably eight years, I want to say, roughly. I'm horrible with dates and numbers, but I'm gonna say 8 years. That sounds about right.
Okay, so what was the first detector you got?
The first detector was an Ace 350.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ace 350. And then I quickly went up to the AT Pro,
Hmm.
and I was with the AT Pro for a very long time until I was looking to get, kind of up my game. And that's when I started getting interested in the Amphibio. And I was actually looking at different machines at that time, like what I wanted to move into, and I was picky about the company, what the company stood for, all that kind of stuff. And I did all this research, and Nokta really stuck out in my mind. And so it turns out I wound up with the Amphibio, and I'm very happy that I did because it really worked out great for me.
Yeah, there are a lot of detectors. They're NACA detectors have a real fast response rate, so they're probably
Mhm.
better than your Garrett AT Pro
Yeah.
and heavy
I
iron.
was shocked actually because I was totally sold on my Garrett, and I won't ding that machine at all. It did really well for me, but I was really surprised. I really truly expected that my AT Pro was going to be the machine that I was going to use in trashy sites because I always felt like it really could pick through the trash. And then I got that Amphibio and I went out there and I took it on a site that I had the AT Pro on before, and it was picking stuff out next to nails and underneath rusty items. I was blown away. I was really blown away. I was like, well, okay, I found my machine.
Yeah, it's a faster response rate, so it'll find more stuff and next to iron. So that's the
Yeah,
good feature of those products, those detectors. Even the Simplex is like that too.
yeah,
It's got
yep,
a super fast
yeah.
response rate. So so you've been 8 years and you started with Garrett and now you're a nomad with the NACA macro. That's awesome. Now, we've had questions on here. Mike Mayo says detecting used to be 99% men in the hobby.
Yeah.
How do you feel in the hobby? Are you involved in any metal detecting clubs?
I'm not. I'm kind of a loner. I'm actually a bit of an introvert too, so I don't belong to any clubs. I started Girls Rock Metal Detecting as like an online sort of thing, and that was back when there were hardly any women detecting, or that I knew of anyway, because I wasn't seeing them on social media for sure. And I started the channel thinking that I could kind of bring more women into the hobby, or at least bring them to the forefront if they were, like me, kind of hiding in the back. And as time went on, more and more and more and more women have come into the hobby, or at least on social media. Because I can't speak for the ones that are out there detecting that are not on social media, because they're two different creatures altogether. There's the social media world, and then the regular detecting world, and they're not the same. But yeah, a lot more women have come out on social media, and that's actually why, because you were asking me to, maybe we're going to talk a little bit about Girls Rock Metal Detecting, but Girls Rock
Yes.
Metal Detecting is no more. I have actually changed the name of the channel, and it is Siren Kimmie Adventures, just because of that. There's no need for me to highlight women anymore. They're everywhere, and they're doing great, and some have their own channels, and supporting one another. So it's wonderful, and I kind of changed my focus into just following my adventures. I'm getting into camping and outdoors, so I'm going metal detecting on the road, sort of thing. And so we've been having a lot of fun doing that.
I
Yeah,
think
because
you go glamping.
Yes, I glamp. I totally glamp.
Glamp.
Well, I don't know.
okay.
I was just camping this weekend, and I see these people in these big motorhomes. They got air conditioner, big screen TVs, and satellite dish. I'm in what's known as a rooftop tent. It's on my bed rack of my truck, and so climb on up into the tent. So it's glamping to some, but yeah, roughing it to others, I guess. So
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I just noticed that in detecting, I've been in detecting for a long time. And at the club meetings, it used to be no women. It was just an all men's hobby. So it's nice to see women are getting involved in it and actually enjoying the hobby and having fun doing it. But you're not a member of any metal detecting clubs?
no, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
really not. I just kind of, I'm part of it too is that I'm not a really good planner, so it's tough for me. I mean, look how long it took me to get on your show. I'm on call a lot of the times, and I have my own business with bath and body products, and I also do side work for my uncle. I'm constantly doing things, and it's really
Okay.
hard for me to make any kind of plan, so I'm off the cuff all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm involved in actually 2 clubs here I guess we're in Southwest Florida. I used to go to another club, the Central Florida Club, but that it got to be too much driving 2.5 hours each way. But there is one here locally in Tampa, just a few miles from me, that I'm involved in, and they have, I think, 90 members. And then the club over in St. Pete has probably more than that. And it's just a good way to network with other treasure hunters, and it's a lot of fun. And you should check that out.
You're talking about my second home down there, because I grew up partially in Florida, in the Tampa area, in the Clearwater area, actually.
Okay.
So I love
Okay.
it over there.
Yeah. So yeah, Clearwater's nice. That's the big beach that everybody metal detects. That's one
Yeah,
that I don't hit too often because I'm always late to the party. And
yeah.
I try to hit the other beaches that don't get hit as hard.
Well, I actually spent more time growing up. I did on Clearwater Beach, but also Indian Rocks Beach, and then up towards like Palm Harbor, Tarpon Springs, the sponge
Okay.
docks there, and so all over that area anyway.
Yeah, we have some beautiful beaches and the metal detecting clubs are very active. Well, they're starting to get active again. We had Captain Carl Fismer at our last meeting, and that was a big meeting. I think we had almost 50 people there, which was good for COVID, and
Yeah,
um, everything's starting to open back up. But now women are more involved in the hobby, and it's just nice to see because as you know, it's a fun hobby, and
Yeah,
you
it really
find
is.
treasure, you get good exercise, and it's just nice to
Mhm.
see women involved in it.
Yes.
We got a question off of YouTube from Starchild RC. Any suggestions on finding old coins?
Finding gold coins.
Oh,
If you have a suggestion, I'll take it from you because I don't have any gold coins to show you. Gold coins.
oh,
I don't know. You
oh,
guys, what do you think?
Yeah, I
old
think
coin.
they're talking
Old
about
coins?
old
Oh,
coins.
oh,
Oh, old
OLD.
coins. Oh, you
Yeah.
got to get to the old sites. You gotta find yourself some old sites, find some old home sites, do some door knocking. That has been um, what I've seen a lot happen is people are afraid to get up to these houses and do door knocking. And so they're a little bit more untouched. And then also do some of those sidewalk strips that people don't want to mess with in the older towns. And you will probably find yourself an old coin.
Yeah, and most of the time, I think the sidewalk strips, you really don't have to door knock anybody
Right,
um, to hunt those. And
right.
in
But
some
people are
ways,
afraid to do them for whatever reason. They don't want to do them.
well, they don't want to stick their butt out in the into the road because somebody come along
It's
and
true.
strip it. But
Yeah, you got to be careful doing
yeah,
those. Not
Yeah,
on busy streets, but maybe on city streets that they're
yeah.
allowed to.
Little
Uh,
neighborhoods, the
yes,
islands out there.
right. As long as they're not heavily trafficked with cars going by fast, and
Yeah.
the best ones are the brick line streets where they have to go slow. In my neighborhood,
hmm
actually, one of my customers uses a Naka macro. He uses simplex, and he's deaf, and he uses
Okay.
the vibration mode.
hmm
And it's funny. I was going to work one day, and there he is across the street in a curb strip, across Florida Avenue, which is a busy street in my neighborhood. And he's metal detecting the curb strip, and he finds a lot of stuff. But I think he's moved now to South Carolina.
I
Okay.
So
thought he moved to Tennessee.
Tennessee, is that where he moved?
I think Bob Hughes moved to Tennessee. He
Yes.
retired from Target and moved to Tennessee.
Yeah, so we'll miss him coming in the shop because he just is a special guy, and he found a lot of stuff. For somebody being deaf, it was just incredible that he could find that the
That's
stuff.
Well,
great.
yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
and
and there's
and so far that I know, Naka is the only one that has the vibration handle.
Yeah, and I've heard other people asking for it just for that purpose because they were deaf and looking for a way to get out there and metal detect.
Right. And also what I like too with the Naka simplex is when you get a target, the light turns on.
Yeah,
So he's getting he's feeling the vibration, seeing the light come on the target.
catches attention. Yeah.
Yes,
hmm
so that would help him with that. So let me keep going down my questions here. William Mont is asking, what's one of your most favorite experiences while metal detecting?
Gosh, there's so many. Like every time I go out is a wonderful experience. Just to get out in nature and get in the fresh air and spend time with friends, and it's just always, always, always great. I've had some wonderful times, like I said, with two friends who had passed in the last couple years, and I wouldn't trade those memories for anything in the world. Some peaceful times out in the woods, metal detecting too. Just it's always, always a memorable time. And of course, when you
Absolutely.
find those really good relics, then you'll never forget those. And which is part of the reason I do the videos is to document those, and I can always go back and relive those moments with those people or the finds. And it's a wonderful hobby.
Yeah, I've often said that, if you can document it or write it down, especially with people who aren't a video person, I probably forgot more of the stuff that I found
Yeah.
over the last 40 years metal detecting.
hmm
And when I first got started in the hobby, I had a really good friend who's since passed on, and he would call me anytime and say, even at nighttime, say, "Hey, they've torn this building down, and we can hunt it." And here it's so hot during the day. A lot of times we'd hunt at night, and we're at 7 or 8 o'clock at night when the sun's going down, and we
hmm
found a lot of pre-Civil War stuff because Tampa was Fort Brooke, but you
Right.
probably knew that. And so you'd find a lot of stuff that's 1820s to 1870s, a big window of targets. But yeah, some of our best finds were the people we've met along the way. So it's just sad to lose them. That's the
Yeah, it
hardest
really
part.
is.
Too busy.
And speaking of another friend, my good friend Joe Busy is on here now, and he's on YouTube. So hey, Joe, hopefully you went out and did some treasure hunting today. But let me keep going with my questions here. Oh, and this is from my friend Albert Stone. He's saying, "Does all the good red wine keep you looking beautiful?"
It makes me think I am or something. I
Oh,
don't know.
okay, all right, but that's yeah, Albert Stone. I think his name is Mike Stone.
It's
Uh,
working.
Well,
and
thank you.
the other question I had here, and we've already mentioned this, was from Bob Bolton. Is the NACA simultaneous multi-frequency? That one's not out yet. The NACA
Yeah.
simplex is single frequency, and the one you're using, the Amphibio, is all. You could change the frequency.
You can change the frequency, but they're not simultaneous. So they're multi-frequency, but they're not simultaneous. So you have to choose one of your frequencies and go with it.
Right. And what frequency do you hunt in most of the time?
I usually do the middle of the road, the 19 on the cruiser. That one works best for me doing the relic hunting. Sorry, 14. What's the night? 14. It goes up to 19. So if you're looking, for it's 5, 14, and 19. So I do the 14.
Okay, and you find that gives you the best target response
Yeah,
for
yeah.
low for lead or for silver. That's going to give you the best recovery. Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool. And
And
we had talked
how many tones are you hunting in?
I'm sorry?
How many tones do you hunt in?
It depends. If I'm in a trashy area, I usually flip into 3-tone. If it's a open field, I'm going to hit the deep tone, and every once in a while I'll even go crazy and do all metal mode because I really like to hear what's in the ground, and I'll use all metal mode too. I'll go into that and kind of test if I got an iffy signal just to kind of hear what's going on with it, but it's usually one of those 3.
Yeah, because when we were in England hunting with my Deus, and I hunted in, mostly I was using a high frequency coil in 14 kilohertz, and in full tones, wide open. I wanted to hear everything that was there.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, in England, when you're out in the field, you get some real quiet spots, and when you start hearing a little bit of iron, then you know that you're in where there were more activity.
Right.
But 14 kilohertz, boy, it makes them sing too, especially
Yeah.
you hit a silver or something. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Gary Kerr is asking about your deepest target you've dug with your Amphibio or with any detector.
I actually was shocked. I was digging in the woods and I wound up, it was over 12 inches and it was a percussion cap. And if you know what a percussion cap is, they're very, very tiny. And that was probably down to 14 inches, and I was shocked. So I mean, usually what we find, most of the relic hunters around here know you're going to find everything. It's going to be between 6 to 8 inches. You really don't find a whole lot that deep. So I was shocked to find it that deep to begin with, but that it found that little tiny, it likes smalls, it really does. So it kind of picked that out for me, which was nice.
Yeah, and for people who don't know the size of a percussion cap, that's about the size of like a little smaller than a 22 shell. When
Yeah, or like a pencil eraser. It's really, it's smaller than a pencil eraser.
Poor child.
Yes. Did you have another question, Joss?
What coil size is bigger and better?
What coil size are you using?
I usually use every day like the 9.5 by 5, like as my everyday coil. But if I'm getting out into the quiet fields, I use the 11-inch coil.
Okay.
Is bigger better?
And do you find the bigger coils are better for you or the smaller one?
I usually use the 9.5 by 5. It still goes plenty deep, and I like that because it will, get in between targets. If you get too big on a coil, you're going to get you're not going to get that separation. So
Right.
that's why I use that on my big quiet fields or in the woods where there are not a lot of signals and you have a lot of debris, just to kind of punch a little bit deeper. But it's not something I'm going to want to pull out in a trashy area for sure.
Right. Yeah, I've over the years I've always used the smallest coil I could get. You know,
Mhm.
years ago when we didn't have the high-speed detectors, I used a 4-inch coil, 4-inch round coil. That's how I got found targets in all the heavy iron. Now you can use the 5x9 or whatever size
Right.
you're using on your
Yeah.
NACA, or you can use you know, a 4x10 or whatnot, or
Right.
5x10 on the Mine Lab. It's just there's so much the processor is so much faster that you can get away with using a larger coil. So
Right.
that's cool. Did you have another question, Joss?
No,
Okay.
I don't have
Um,
many people on.
okay. Well, that's because Facebook is out to
Yeah,
lunch
I don't like
today.
that YouTube.
Yes. So,
Yeah, somebody said they got big Senate hearings tomorrow, so they're scrubbing their servers or
Oh,
doing some,
Yeah,
geez.
I don't
you
like
know,
it.
it's some kind of a, you know, cover up,
so,
I'm sure.
so tell our members about your new YouTube channel then.
It is Siren Kimmie Adventures, and it combines metal detecting with adventures. Going out camping. We had one recently, went out to Paris Mountain, South Carolina, Paris Mountain State Park. So we kind of incorporate the camping as well as whatever metal detecting we go along the way. And it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun.
Right. Now that state park probably doesn't allow you the metal detecting,
No,
correct?
no, 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 no,
Okay.
nearby. I won't give up where I'm digging, but yeah, nearby.
Headphones, hopefully.
Okay, we got a question from Star Child RC. He said he's heard that headphones help you hear the signals better and the faint signals better, and want your opinion on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be able, if you have that up against your ear, you're going to be able to pick that up better. You're not going to have all your outside noise coming in and drowning out the signals, so you can really kind of hear better on that. I don't always wear them. I'm going to confess that. I can plug in some earbuds and stuff here in the summer. It is super hot, so I can't wear the big heavy earphones. But if you can wear the earbuds, that'll help you even more, just to have something to get that signal in your ear.
Yeah, I could see where I'm so used to the large headphones. I've just grown accustomed to them for doing so long. But I have a lot of customers who like to use the earbuds, and they
Yeah.
seem to help them greatly in the heat. But
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
we have the heat here too, and I cannot do it. Those big muffs on my ear, I can't do it.
yeah,
Not in the summertime, because we'll go out sometimes and it's 110 heat index, and they got to pull me off the field and say it's time to stop. But yeah, I couldn't do it with the headphones.
yes, absolutely.
you know what you need in a situation like that is a big Saint Bernard with that keg under his head.
Yeah,
But it
for
needs to
sure.
be it needs to be a good red blend or a cab. That's all.
Taking Canuck wants to know what kind of wireless earbuds.
Are you using wireless? Digging Canuck is asking, are you using wireless earbuds or are you just using a plug-in type?
When I'm using the earbuds, I actually use the Nocta Macro has the little kind of hooks on your belt. It's called the oh my gosh, Easy Winder. Oh my gosh, sorry, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But it's a little box that you clip on and you can plug any headphones into. And I kind of run that up my shirt and put the earbuds in my ear, and that works perfectly. So it syncs wirelessly with the machine. So it's not attached to the machine, so you can set the machine down and you can still kind of wander around. And Easy Wander, that's why it's called Easy Wander.
Easy Wander, and that's a Nocta Macro product?
Yes, yes.
And
And
does
that
it
will
just,
sync. I sync it up with the Simplex and the Multi Cruiser and the Amphibio.
okay, so that must be a product that's just for Nocta Macro detectors. That's not Bluetooth. That's
Yeah, no, it's a wireless. It connects with it wirelessly with their
okay.
machine.
All right, cool. So that's a good product I should probably look into for my customers on Nocta Macro. I didn't know they even had that
Yeah,
product.
it's nice. You can plug any headphones you want to into it, and it's actually clipped onto your body,
And
and then it's
it'll pair to
wirelessly
the
connected.
detector. Oh yeah, that's
Well,
awesome.
Not the macro makes an awful lot of products like that you just don't hear that much about.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
we need to. I'm going to get on Dillick about that.
Yeah, she needs to actually educate her dealers a little better, so we
Yeah,
know
and I
everything
did
that
when
they
I
have.
did my Simplex video when it first came out, I actually put the Easy Wander in there showing how to pair it and everything. So I do have a Simplex for those who have Simplex. I have how to pair the pulse dive because you can wirelessly connect the pulse dive to that, the Easy Wander, and the headphones. So if anybody needs information on how to do it or want to see what it looks like, I have that up on my Simplex tutorials on my YouTube channel.
Okay, so if
Cool.
people want to see that, see how it works, yeah, jump over to the YouTube channel and
And
check
put
it
your
out.
link. Put your link when Facebook gets back out of jail or whatever
Yeah.
it's doing. Make sure you post that information on Treasure Talk Facebook so people can go and check it out. And they
Okay.
also need to go and check out your YouTube channel and subscribe.
Yes, please.
Okay, so now when you're doing your relic hunting, are you doing door knocking and asking for permissions? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, we do a lot of door knocking. That's get the permissions, and then you're going to get a little bit more lucky on your finds because people are afraid to do it. And so if you can get some of those old home sites, that's a really great way to do it. And also some of the farm fields to get your permissions.
Absolutely. So you're hunting with someone else, with friends, or by
Yeah,
yourself?
with if you look up on my YouTube channel, you'll see Gerald digs with me, and he also, if anybody's into RC cars, um, RC cars, RC planes, he started his own channel. It's Starchild RC. So if you head on over to Starchild RC on YouTube, there's some cool stuff over there. But I detect with him and do all my adventures with him.
Okay,
Okay, that's their Star Child RC. But asking questions. Hey, stacking the deck, Kimmie.
Stacking the deck.
That's it.
now have you had any bad experiences door knocking?
No, no. Actually, I always say, if the worst thing that's going to happen to you is they're going to say no. They're not going to kill you. So the worst thing that's going to happen to you is they're going to say no. But if you don't ask, then you're not going to get the permission either. So you may as well just go knock. I don't go up to anything sketchy. Obviously, I wouldn't go up to something sketchy, especially not by myself. But just use your common sense on where you're going to knock. If you're seeing lots of no trespassing, and you're seeing like beware of dog, and it looks like they don't want somebody up on their property, then I'm probably not going to ask that person. But just regular, normal, everyday houses, just get up there and knock. The worst thing that happens is they say no.
Right. Now, are you asking in older areas? Are you researching the area first,
Oh
or?
yeah, yeah. Research is key. If you can find any of the, what I usually do is I Google towns, and I Google town histories to find out what has happened in those areas. I also like to read a lot of information about the Civil War, and look at old maps and that sort of thing. A lot of people will also go up to the local libraries and see what kind of information they have there as far as history in the different towns. But I do a lot of Googling. Google is my friend.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Now, are you sharing any finds with the property owner?
Oh yeah, yeah. I always let them have their pick of anything that I find. For me, it's not having the item so much as finding the item. So I'm happy to give that up. And in fact, I'm on my board, my local museum board. And when I find stuff in my local town, I donate that over to the museum too. Because I mean, if I kept everything, what's the point? Soon you get diluted with all this stuff in your house. Obviously I'm keeping my favorites, and hope that the landowners will let me have them. But for the most part, I don't have any problem giving up
Okay.
what I find.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, especially put in a museum so
Yeah,
everybody can enjoy it and see it.
right.
That, that really is. Did you have another question, Joss?
Nothing.
Okay. Just
Just Facebook is the only one open.
yeah. Well, no, Facebook's not open. YouTube is the
Yeah,
only thing on.
YouTube is the only
Yeah.
one open.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to play this. Well, hopefully it records it, Jeff. Are you able to put this back on the Facebook page later? Or is it
I
just
don't know.
not?
I'll have to check and see. I'll have to check and see. I'll try it.
Yeah,
Big question, Kimmy. What's your favorite varietal?
My favorite varietal,
That's
I don't
it.
have all reds. I'm a red wine girl, so all of the reds, as long as they're not sweet. I'm not. I like dry reds. Right now, I am digging on the 19 Crimes. Their
That's good.
line is
I like that.
really good. And I don't know if you guys have never. I don't know if you're wine drinkers or not, but this is right up the alley of a history lover. The
Mm-hmm.
19 Crimes has what are known as living labels, and they have an app that you can put on your phone, and you can basically use your camera and highlight the phone, and it will actually come to life in front of your eyes. And it's all these prisoners that were sent over to Australia, and the 19 crimes that you could commit to be sent over to Australia. So it's all this history on my mind. So that I
Yeah.
love
And the
that,
good
and
and the good
it's a
thing
good
about it
party
is,
trick too. I'm sorry.
yeah. And the good thing about it is, after about 2 bottles, they get really lively.
For real.
all right. Well, I've got one more question here that I've got, but I have to comment on the YouTube. Joe Vizzi is telling everyone the best time to knock on the door is 6 a.m. in the morning. That is not correct.
Ooh, no,
Okay,
no,
Joe,
no.
you're
And
absolutely
I
wrong
try
on
to
that.
avoid Sundays too. I did have one time where I went on a Sunday and I had a sweet, sweet older lady that was very upset at me for knocking on the door on the Lord's Day. And so I learned my lesson. I do not knock on Sundays.
Okay, so no Sundays and no 6 a.m. in the morning. That's
No.
wrong, Joe. That just don't put that out there. He's just trying.
And
I
try
guess
not
he's
to do
trying.
it during dinner time either, you know. It's one of those things. Feel like a sales call, you know. Any of the times that you would hate to be bothered, that's when you don't want to go knock on the door.
All right, now I don't know if I asked this question, but before, but William Mott is asking, what is your absolute favorite part of the hobby we call metal detecting? Did I ask that already?
No, you
No.
didn't.
Okay, well, tell us your
Um,
favorite part.
it's multi. I think for the most part, it's the history. It's the stories that come along with the finds. So there are many occasions when I find something that I learned something new. And then there's other times where I find something and it's able to be traced back to the owner, which is really, really incredible. And finding more history about a local town, it's the stories. I absolutely love the stories. And then when there is no story, I make one up. So
Well, that sounds like King George. He does that. He
yeah.
does that all the time.
Yeah, yeah, I like to do that. It's like, well, this could be, from who knows what. Your imagination runs wild, and you just kind of imagine what could be, and that's also a wonderful thing because we walk on this land every day, and you don't know what's under it, and you don't know what happened there before, and when you find items, you start to get little clues, and that's really amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really archaeology. We're finding clues from the past, so that's really cool. That's what I like about the hobby too, and I also like the beach and treasure hunting for the actually for the gold. So although lately I haven't found much gold, but that'll change
Yeah,
tomorrow. You just never know.
yeah, good luck with
Well,
that.
another good thing about when you're hunting in on a private residence in their yard, and I've had times where you find something like you find an old toy that
Yeah.
their children played with, 50 years ago, and you
Mhm.
show them, and they get really emotional about that. And there's a lot of times you find stuff like that when you're hunting in somebody's yard. Um, that it just means an awful lot to them because
Right.
they thought it was gone forever.
For
Sometimes you
sure.
find an old ring they lost, or a whole bunch of stuff. So there's
Yeah.
that aspect of it as well, I think.
Yeah.
All righty. So we talked about. Did we talk about your oldest coin? Was that dime you had there?
Yes. Yeah.
That was your oldest silver coin. Was that
Yeah.
what about your oldest coin in general? Was that
That's
it?
my oldest coin and my oldest silver.
Oh, okay. All righty. And no gold coin.
No,
Um,
maybe tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I'm not digging tomorrow. Maybe this weekend.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like Mel Fisher said, today's the day.
Yeah.
So, Kimmie, let's elaborate just a little bit on what's next for the Siren Kimmie Price. What do you see coming down the road with you?
A lot more camping, a lot more adventures, and hopefully a lot more finds. Yeah, really, really loving the camping life. It had been a long time since I've been out there camping, and I'm just really enjoying that, being out in nature and getting to different areas because now I can travel. So, and I can do it on a moment's notice because it's all attached to the truck. So it's really just kind of like a seat of the pants adventure, and I'm really looking forward to all of it.
And what do you see coming? I know Nocta's coming with a lot of really cool stuff. I know that backpack they have is killer. That's got to be good for
Oh,
your
I love it.
glamping.
I love that thing.
And
That
um,
shovel fits in there and 2 detectors. So you can fit and that's not even counting like my pouch fits in there, everything fits in that. I actually did a video with a review of that showing, yes, there's the pouch. I did a review of it showing me putting all of my stuff into it, and it's amazing what will fit in there, and it fits on your back. It's about as tall as me because I'm not really very tall, so but it fits on your back. You can cinch that up and just head out, and it really is a great tool.
yeah, they've got a lot of really cool products that they don't advertise them a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
It's I try to put them on my videos, like I said, with that same with the pouch. There's also a holster for pinpointer that you can attach to your leg, which is really cool. That can attach to your finds pouch or to a belt. And I'm trying to think of what else. I have all these wonderful tools just for keeping organized. And that pouch is killer. I have that every time. I don't go without my pouch. So yeah, they do have a lot of items, and they're always trying to come up with new things that are helpful.
Yeah, and they're always
Absolutely.
packaged very, very nicely.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah.
You know,
Before we get going here, one other question I had for you. Have you used your detectors underwater?
I have. I used the cruiser and also the simplex in a creek. I
Oh,
didn't go super deep with them, but they were in water and they've dropped in water and they've been underwater, and yeah,
yeah.
so
I have a lot of customers who use them underwater, and we stock the Naka Macro waterproof headphones, and I think we even have the Grey Ghost waterproof headphones for the Naka Macro. I stock those along with just to let the customers know, we just got the Equinox Grey Ghost headphones in stock. So if people want to get those, we now have everything's been in short supply. I don't know if you know that, but with metal
yeah.
detecting with the COVID virus, we're just running out of everything, and it's
I
been
also heard something about like a computer chip shortage. I don't know if you
yes,
guys heard anything about that, but there's been a computer chip shortage, which is
yes,
yeah,
kind of crazy. So
yes,
yeah,
that's
thankfully, Nocta Macro has had a lot of stock,
in
so
yes.
they weren't affected by that. But there were some that were affected by that.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was. Well,
So Jeff,
Philip, it looks like we reached our witching hour.
yes, we did. So let me just say thank you first. Thank you, Kimmy, for coming on with
Absolutely. Thank
us,
you for having me.
the Nomads, and
Sorry
thank
it
you,
took me
Jeff.
forever to get here.
And no problem. And we got it done. And thank you, Jeff, for helping. And thank you, Jocelyn, for giving me the questions. Even though we weren't on Facebook tonight, we still had a good time. So thank you, everybody. And thank you to all of our members. I think we have over 5,000 on
Yeah,
Wow.
Facebook
yeah, yeah.
and a bunch of them on YouTube, too. So thank you, guys.
Kimmy, I can't say thank you enough. You are the siren. There's no other
Oh, thank
way to
you.
describe it. And we really appreciate you coming on and
Absolutely.
talking to us tonight. And you have really helped a whole bunch of people, and you will continue to help a bunch of people. And you are a star in the crown of Nocta Macro. You
Oh, thank
represent
you.
them very, very well. And we say
Thank
thank
you.
you very much. And hopefully, we need to get you on Treasure Tales, and you come back and see us soon.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
All right,
Okay,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.
Good
Thank
night.
you. We'll see you. Happy hunting.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye
now.
bye.